When people fall ill, they go to the hospital. When artifacts get sick, they too can go to the hospital to get treated. Those hospitals are called conservation laboratories. Let me take you to one such hospital that keeps the artifacts in the City Palace Museum, Udaipur, healthy and safe. The lab is located in the second floor of the palace complex in an erstwhile royal living quarters, a long, narrow space divided by columns and arches with a different color scheme for each section. Before setting up the lab, this space needed to be restored and remodeled. Being a heritage space, all attempts were made to maintain its integrity, keeping the alterations to a minimum, and making the best use of the existing features. For example, the old toilet was converted into the wet area. The space is now restored and the equipment in place, and the lab is ready to start the operations. All the furniture and equipment are customized to be mobile to make the lab a flexible space so that any kind of object can be treated there. This was done keeping the diverse nature of the collection in the museum in mind. Even the large washing sink in the wet area is movable. This is the low suction table, a versatile and most important equipment in the lab. It has the facility to humidify, heat, and apply vacuum pressure in a controlled manner to treat a wide range of objects. It is the largest of its kind available, measuring 10 feet by 5 feet, and is the first one of the only two in use in the country at the moment. Once the lab was set up, a team of young conservators were engaged and further trained in handling these equipment and materials. The laboratory, which became fully functional in January 2018, received as its first project the conservation of a set of paintings chosen for the exhibition of Mewar paintings. I would like to take this opportunity to show you a quick glimpse of the conservation of one of the paintings that was completed. As the first step of the conservation process, the painting was examined in detail to assess its material, structure, and condition, and the observations made were documented. Photography under various lighting conditions was part of it. Both the front and back of the painting were studied. Here we can see the inscriptions about the painting, discoloration of the paper, and the adhesive tape stuck near the edges. These observations are particularly important as they help us understand some of the problems found in the painting. Let's have a look at it. When the angle of the light changed, we can see that the surface is not as flat as it appeared. These undulations in the paint layer are the result of the stress induced by the tapes at the back. Then we had a closer look at it to get a better idea of its condition. Extensive cracking and flaking of the paint layer could be seen under the microscope. With a fair understanding of its condition, we moved on to the next stage, the treatment. First of all, the surface was cleaned to remove the ingrained dust and dirt. It was then consolidated by introducing an adhesive to hold the fragments of paint in place and to strengthen the paint layer. This is an extremely slow process that was carried out under the microscope and took over a month to complete. Once the paint layer was consolidated, the painting was turned over to clean the back and to remove the old adhesive tapes. Adhesive in the tapes was softened using a steam pencil, and the tape was lifted off using steel spatulae. When the tapes were removed, we realized that the layers of paper support were separating at many places. They were fixed by inserting adhesive in between them. Here is the back of the painting, cleaned and the tapes removed. Even though removing the tape had relaxed the painting quite a bit, it wasn't flat enough and needed further treatment. It was then humidified to relax the paper fibers and flattened on the suction table. The painting after treatment and matting, ready for framing and display. Activities of the laboratory will not be complete without mentioning a few other projects that are underway. They are a set of large chromolithographs, maps from the archives, a polychrome wooden door from the museum, and glass inlay work in the palace premises. Thank you.